2006, I began June 1st as the mayor. And at the time, I think we had about 14 to 16,000 citizens in the town of Queen Creek. And I was the mayor until June of 2010. At that point, we had about 24,000 citizens in Queen Creek.
Queen Creek has an interesting history that most Arizonians don't know. Even the people in Queen Creek of almost 4 million don't know or acknowledge it. Everything here has a story to tell. Our tracks are an interesting piece of work because they've been here from the 1930s. Most of the trains being freight trains carrying equipment and ore from the sidings that joined with the main track. The first was a station in Queen Creek across from locally famous Schnepp Farms. The station consisted of an old brick house and the water tank. Although the station no longer exists, the water tower still stands. The second siding was at Ellsworth Road Crossing, used for mostly produce. This was also the site for an old World War II POW camp, which was around from 1942 to 1945.
When Queen Creek first was a Queen Creek place, it was actually the water tower out near Schnepp Farms. There's an old circular masonry water tower where the trains used to take on water when they needed water, and that was where Queen Creek was. Where Queen Creek is today, the community was actually Rittenhouse.
It was built for the steam engines that used to come by through this area, and the train would stop, and there was a fellow that lived in a house right next to the water tower, and it was his job to go out and pull a lever and drop water into the steam engine so it could keep going on towards Phoenix. My mom and dad bought that little house that the fellow lived in who did the water for the steam engines because they switched from steam engines to diesel engines.
Where Queen Creek is today, the community was actually Rittenhouse. And I believe in the late 30s, the Ellsworth brothers and the other longtime residents at the time thought that Queen Creek was a better sounding place than Rittenhouse. So they kind of swapped the names, and then when the post office came into being, it came in with the Queen Creek name rather than a Rittenhouse name.
We also have a strong Mormon influence. Our town hall here is also an old church. There's a total of 8 Mormon churches in our small town of Queen Creek.
The LDS Church has roots here in Queen Creek. Some of the early settlers of Queen Creek 60 years ago were LDS. The old town hall was the first meeting house. It was the first church. They sold it to the town several years ago and built the second one that was over on Chandler Heights, just off of Ellsworth. When I moved here 18 years ago, there was maybe about 600 families, or 600 members of the church. And I don't know what the number is now, but it was 2 wards. And now those 2 wards are over 5 stakes and probably over 50 wards. There's thousands and thousands of members now that have moved from Mesa and from other parts of the valley.
This town school system is amazing. From kindergarten through 12th grade provides an enriching experience. It's honestly really good, and I'm glad I got to be a part of it. Our athletics crushed the competition. We are well known as some of the best athletes around. The elementary school was built in a neighborhood, making it easy for the surrounding students to get there. Youngster U is a preschool next to Queen Creek Middle School, and Toy Box is next to Queen Creek High School, making it convenient and close. Queen Creek Middle School was the high school, but then they built Queen Creek High School to accommodate the students that want to go to this amazing school. QCMS then became the middle school. After that, they built Newell Barney Middle School, which is 7th through 8th grade, and then they made Queen Creek Middle School 5th through 6th grade, and all elementary schools are now kindergarten through 4th grade. They have Gilbert Community College right by us, and they're building a 4-year cooperative college right next to us. We have built many schools over the years because our population has grown so much.
They determined that the school should be named after people rather than after roads or after washes or something like that. And so they started naming them after people, and I have been on the school board for 21 years and involved with a lot of different activities in the school and been here a long time, and for those reasons and probably many others, that was the reason that this school was
businesses have really grown. The Queen Creek Cafe has been around for a really long time. The Ellsworth Loop wasn't even here 5 years ago. Now it is a 6-lane road that gets people where they need to go. Before it was just 2-lane road with railroad tracks. 4 years ago, we didn't even have our local Walmart, which is now where many people shop. 5 years ago, there was only Queen Creek Cafe, Rudy's, Jim's Burrows, Fry's, and downtown Queen Creek. Recently, they built Taco Bell, Carl's Jr., Walmart, Queen Creek Marketplace, or as the locals call it, the Crick. Soon, Queen Creek is getting a movie theater, another hospital, and an Outburger. They're building new neighborhoods and a college. Queen Creek is constantly growing and changing and having construction.